If you ask the average Costco shopper why they love the store so much, they'll probably mention something about price. But at the same time, it's not unlikely that you've been to Costco and spent way more than you ever planned to. In fact, the last time that I went there, I literally spent $500 on a standard grocery shop. And that's no mistake. First of all, we have to admit that yes, there are deals at Costco. I don't need to tell you that Costco has become a bit of a paradise for the savvy bargain hunter. Costco is the shopper's wonderland where you can get enormous blocks of cheese from halfway around the world, pumpkin pies that are the size of your torso, and hey, why not a hot tub on your way out? People absolutely love this place. And at least one couple actually went so far as to get married in a Costco, which should probably surprise me, but at this point, honestly, that kind of checks out. The chain fosters a fierce loyalty in its customers, with 90% of its shoppers renewing their membership year over year. This totals over 105 million paying customers and counting. Turns out this super bland warehouse chain brand is actually a bit of a psychological mastermind. Despite its looks, Costco is very intentionally designed with the express purpose of getting you to buy a literal ton of shit. And the Costco addiction is all a part of that business model. Put yourself in the shoes of a typical Costco shopper. Maybe you're even one yourself. Once you've paid for that membership, the hook has already sunk itself in. Now you feel like you have to keep coming back in order to make the most of that sunk cost. But that's okay because you have access to all of these great deals. Ironically, just the fact that you paid for the thing makes you feel like you're saving money on all those additional purchases. So the next time that you need a carton of eggs, you think to yourself, well, instead of going to the regular grocery store, I'm just gonna go to Costco because I already have the membership there. But this quick shopping trip for the essentials turns into something much different. Because where are the essentials located, everybody? Now, if you just yelled at your computer, Levi, it's at the back of the store. Congratulations. Give yourself a little pat on the back because you just earned yourself a free subscription to the coolest new YouTube channel on the platform. Future Proof is here, baby. All you gotta do is click that little red button down there and then you'll get a weekly dose of awesomeness courtesy of us and you'll thank me later. So you came in for eggs, but now you're face to face with an enormous 4K television and hot damn does the new latest Marvel movie look tremendous on it. Now you're probably good enough to not impulse buy a 64-inch OLED television.
What is OLED and why is it so expensive?
You know what? The colors look amazing and in the moment you start to feel something wash over you and that is the shopper's prowl, we'll call it. And suddenly, this is no longer just an in and out trip. We're doing this thing. Next thing you know, you're casually walking and browsing around the aisles, just seeing what catches your eye. You're passing paddle boards, sofas, the latest books, brand name clothing. I mean, heck, they even got wedding rings here. You know, if you got a little special someone in your life. All for what you assume are reasonable prices. And I mean, you would think they would be since you have an exclusive membership to get access to all this stuff. And don't worry, if you get tired, there is always the food court where you can satiate yourself for a little bit and come back later. And hey, to keep you perked up along the way, they got free samples at the end of every aisle. This whole setup is designed to get you to stay there as long as possible because statistically, we know that the longer you stay in a store, the more likely you are to buy something. Like that massage chair that you've been thinking about buying for weeks. Probably. Costco calls this the treasure hunting atmosphere. They want their customers to feel like they're seasoned hunters out on the prowl for the next exclusive deal. It helps that the store has a sort of rugged, behind the scenes warehouse look. They don't pamper you by taking items off the pallets and stacking them nicely for you. Your claws are sharp, your teeth are bared, and you just found a Silver Knight casket for $12.99 with expedited shipping? How can you not buy that? And Costco is constantly introducing new inventory, so customers have to keep coming back if they want to be the first one to find the next great thing. This is so true too, because if you live in a Costco community, you know that there's like a period of time after a new plaid shirt or package of socks arrives at Costco, everyone's wearing the same shirts for a while because everyone saw the great deal and had to get on board. I'm fairly certain my wife has the same plaid shirt that all of the other women in her family also own because of this. This addiction-inducing business model builds off of the average consumer's assumption that buying at Costco saves you money. This is ironic, of course, because most people typically spend more money at Costco than they would at a traditional grocery store, even the notorious Whole Foods, which we have made a whole other video about right here if you want to check that out. Now, to be fair, part of this is because Costco offers things like caskets and hot tubs and wedding rings that are retailing for $35,000. That brings up their average. However, a big part of the reason why you spend more at Costco is because they encourage overbuying more than any other grocery chain. Even if you limit yourself to essentials like food purchases from Costco, it could still cost you more money than shopping elsewhere because of one simple factor: waste. And before you think, oh, I don't waste the food that I buy, statistically, you might be. Every year, humans collectively throw out over 1 billion tons of food. That's 1/3 of our hard-earned food going straight into the landfill. That is a mind-boggling amount of Miss Vicky's balsamic vinegar and onion potato chips. Why would anyone waste those chips, which are considered widely, I shall say, to be one of the most underrated chips to have ever existed, is beyond me. Apparently this happens, and it gets me emotional. I love those chips. Food waste is also one of the biggest challenges that we have to overcome to solve climate change. And it's all the more maddening because we have millions of people who simultaneously have no food to eat. On top of the societal and environmental implications, it just doesn't make sense financially. Food waste can happen no matter where you shop, of course, but Costco makes it ridiculously easy to overspend on food, primarily because of their packaging. Oversized packaging is one of the primary causes of food waste today. In total, up to 1/4 of the food that we throw out. That's hundreds of dollars worth of food going into the trash because you bought a pickle jar the size of a toddler. And as we know, Costco is the king of oversized stuff. They often sell products that are 2 to 4 times the quantity of the standard you would see in a typical grocery store. While these bulk sizes do save money sometimes, and that's pretty much the whole Costco business model, it's not always the case. Some products, notably produce items, can actually be more expensive at Costco than at other stores. But where the costs actually stack up is when you don't finish what you bought. You left the house and went to Costco because they have a good deal on eggs, but you spent $500 on a shopping spree and then you didn't even eat $40 worth of the food that you bought. My favorite example of this is the cucumbers that you buy at Costco. They're huge to begin with, and then they come in packs of 3. Never in my life have I gone to the grocery store and thought, I need 3 huge cucumbers. We had 3 at home and someone went grocery shopping and brought back another 3. And so for a while we had 6 cucumbers in the fridge at one time. Cucumbers are one of my favorite vegetables, but like, I don't want to eat them with every meal. Now, of course, if you are a larger household and you have a meal plan and maybe a bit of self-control, you can make Costco work for you. But judging by the success of Costco as a company, most people don't. If you are struggling with overbuying or food waste in general, it might actually save you a lot of money to move away from bulk places like Costco. People who shop at smaller stores and local farmers markets, for example, tend to throw away less food than those who shop exclusively at big box stores. You can also try and employ different preserving tactics such as pickling or canning. This could be like an activity you do with your roommates or your family. You can also make sure to buy stuff that isn't gonna go bad immediately. Like there's a lot of shelf-stable stuff at Costco that you aren't going to feel guilty about if you just let it sit for 2 months while you're not eating it. I think a lot of people shop at Costco and think that it's cheaper because humans don't fundamentally have a very good grasp of cost by weight.
Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math.
We see all of this food and we assume that even though it was more expensive than buying a smaller box at another store, that it's a good deal because look at how much we have. But that abundance also leads you to use more of it and use it more wastefully too. So of course, we're not saying that Costco is a terrible place and those who shop there are terrible people. We're saying that this is, just like every other grocery store, a business model, and a business model that relies on people buying more than what they need. So if you are going to shop at Costco, make sure that you're thinking about it a little bit before you go there. Make sure you have a list, make sure you're not hungry, and try to avoid buying those surfboards. Although they do look like a pretty good deal. Maybe you're gonna be catching some waves this year, I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you are liking the content that we put out here on Future Proof, consider subscribing, ringing that little bell so that you don't miss a video. And if you do that, then we'll see you in the next one. You're a predator, gosh dang it. Your claws are sharp, your nipples are hard, and you just found a Silver Knight casket for $11.99 with expedited shipping? Oh my God. Are we gonna say the nipples are hard thing?